Recording in progress.
Hey everyone, welcome to Stocks Numbers Trading. Thanks everyone for joining. My name is Ron. My partner is Dave. It's 11 a.m. Eastern. A new hourly candle is opening up right now, and it is Thursday, April 16th. So thanks everyone for joining. We appreciate you guys. What we're going to do is we're just going to go over today's news real quick and get right into the charts. We'll start off with gold in just a moment. Really quickly, guys, we had some news today. Okay, unemployment claims, weekly unemployment claims came out. Pretty good numbers, 207, below their forecast and below last week. So that's good regarding unemployment and the unemployment benefits. We have some speakers this afternoon. And guys, later tonight, 7 p.m., Donald Trump is speaking at a casino. If you click on it, he's at the AC Hotel Las Vegas Symphony. Or sorry, not a casino. When I'm thinking of Las Vegas, I think of casinos. He's at a hotel in Las Vegas. Okay, so who knows what he's going to be speaking about, but anytime he's speaking, just please be careful. That's 7 p.m. Eastern. That's 1 hour before the futures market opens up, and that's during the Tokyo session. So be careful. Just mind whenever he's speaking. Earnings today, guys, last night, well, at 2 a.m. Eastern during the Tokyo session, we had TSM, that's Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing. They had a great earnings. Earnings per share were up. Revenue was up. Good growth. Good surprise. That's why NASDAQ was just melting up to all-time highs, like unstoppable. So there was a little bit of a breath today. It cooled off, but it could regain that momentum. So TSM, fantastic earnings. Pepsi this morning, Charles Schwab this morning. But the big one, guys, is this after hours. Netflix will be reporting at 4 p.m. Eastern. Their EPS is set at 81 cents per share and a revenue of $12.17 billion. So that will be the big earnings and will affect NASDAQ and S&P 500 today, okay? Just the news going on around here. There's TSMC CEO, Taiwan Semiconductors, just dropped a hint about the next move in AI stocks. There's an article there. Microsoft is in the news with Stellantis. That's the former General Dynamics, or General Motors, I'm sorry. Microsoft signed a 5-year partnership for AI push with General Motors over here. Amazon introduces fuel surcharge for Canadian sellers using fulfillment program. What else we got? Gatorade is getting a rebrand targeting non-athletes. So you guys can see I'm drinking my Gatorade Zero over here, but they want to now brand to non-athletes. What else we got going on? NVIDIA is still an AI powerhouse as chip stocks rally in the month of April. And that's our day-to-day news, okay? Just moving over, guys. Our Discord was sending out some fantastic signals over here to the signal group. This is on short on gold. So you can see we were looking for sells below 48.05. That was that number we were looking for buys off of yesterday. So you can see how we use it as a static line. There's the big structural candle closed below roughly about 50% or the previous support turning to resistance. There was a nice retest and a nice push down. If you guys got that, that's a fantastic way to hit 200 pips in profit on the gold. And also indices, some fantastic callouts on selling on US 30. Right over here, you can see coming down, looking for the close at 48,600 and a nice push with Dave's analysis down to good supporting area. Okay, and that was a good move for 200 pips. So right there, just off of some signals, you're well on your way to your daily goal. Also, guys, there's a free Telegram channel pinned for everyone on YouTube. Thank you guys for joining. It gives you the live links to our sessions, some morning analysis, some briefs on what's going on. Guys, I have some Netflix contracts options going into earnings. You can see this was an example of what I'm showing you guys. They're up 40%, right? Just with a small investment. My book cost was $760 and roughly about making 50%. So remember, it's a percentage game. If you had $1 million and you bought the same contracts, you are up 40%, right? So we'll see. This is our stock and options boot camp that we're going into next week. And guys, today and tomorrow are basically, and Saturday are the last days to enroll, to sign up, to learn all about stock and options, show you a whole different world in the finance, that you can trade your favorite companies. Like if you watch Netflix, you subscribe to it, you can make some money. This money now paid for my Netflix monthly fees. So you can utilize trading to pay off all of your bills as well. Okay, so we'll talk all about that during the boot camp and live sessions with Dave. He does Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, New York sessions from 8 to 10. Okay, that's a free Telegram. It's pinned at the top of the channel. And guys, if you want to join the team, you're welcome to join the team. We have that promotion going on for the 6-day boot camp. You get the 3-month premium plan with everything we offer: indicators, signals, Discord, education, live sessions, and a one-on-one with myself to help get you situated or ask any questions. And I'd like to get to know you guys and go from there. Okay, so that's all on. And free blogs for everybody are right over here on the blog section. Check out all the blogs. And finally, guys, thank you guys to all the subscribers. You guys are great. If you're not subscribed, subscribe and you'll get some value from this channel. And please like the stream. We do appreciate that. Okay. Now let's get into it. Gold is making a move. Okay. So again, there's one of those wicks we were talking about, the John Wick. And you see how it came up. And talking about what we were talking about yesterday with the John Wick, you measure the wick. That's about 150 pip wick. And then you can take it, not always, but in a situation like this, and like the one we were explaining yesterday, you can measure that wick right there, 150 pips, and then starting with like a bullish candle, there, it's kind of retraced up to the 150 pips, okay? That's a good way if you're just trading candles, individual candles and things like that, okay? So I'm gonna start off with the top-down analysis, move it from the daily, hourly, 5 minutes. I'm gonna talk a little faster so we can get right into this. I'm not gonna explain every single thing that I do because we have now tutorial videos explaining this, so I need you guys to watch those, okay? And then you'll get caught up. So welcome everybody in Zoom. Thank you guys for joining. Conrad, good day. Dennis, welcome. Krina, welcome. Justin, welcome, brother. Sergio, thank you for joining. Appreciate you. Brendan, Forex Works, thank you for joining. Thank you, guys. And everyone on YouTube as well, thank you, guys. Canadian Locomotive Logistics. Welcome, Darren. Thank you for joining. You're ready. You're the first one, my man. Thank you for joining. Manachizo Valentino. Hopefully I didn't butcher that name, but welcome to you too. And Ahmed, welcome. Justin, thank you for joining. Mohammed, welcome, guys. Romero, thank you for joining, brother. Okay, so what are our thoughts on gold? I'm going to break down top-down analysis, and we'll see what our thoughts are. Okay, so let's get into this, guys. Hit the likes, subscribe to the channel, and you can see gold is moving right now. Maybe some of you guys are in buys off of this. Fantastic, but just manage your risk, okay? I'm going to start off with the daily, so do some analysis, okay? Just real quickly, okay, so we're all aware gold's all-time high is right below there, 5,600. Mark it up. I'm just going to make the lines a little thicker so you can see them, and just drawing a zone from the all-time high right there. I'm going to make it red to illustrate that there's sellers. We already came into it, and they've already pushed us down. Will gold reach up there? It's creeping up there slowly, but it's also got lower highs and lower highs, okay? And off of that big rejection over there, we made a nice point of interest right at 4,400. And if we look for the supporting block below it, you just look below the yellow line. There was where it was resistance right there. That's where officially a blue candle closed above. You can change it to green, and you can show when we retraced in there how it consolidated and went right back up to the all-time high. And again, when we dropped there, that one Monday where there was going to be Black Monday, but Donald Trump saved it with one little tweet, and the market is pushing up from there, okay? Gold. And now, some more points of interest. Following that wick to those bodies, psychological number, 4650, body close, body open ignited, and a retest wick. And then body close, body open, body close above. Now you see how it's holding the support with complementing wicks, making higher lows off of the bottom, okay? And next zone, next point of interest is right here, where there was that body pivot and wick pushed down. That wick pushed down on Wednesday when we were trading futures, and yesterday that was our high. So you can see at 4,875, again, psychological numbers, there's a little red block right below there. And let's advance that into the future. So you can still see sellers are still there present offering, but buyers are still there buying. So we're in that daily consolidated range where it's blue, black, and blue. So just like if this was a 5 minutes, we might get a daily candle that impulsively breaks above here. It could be a fake out, or you wait for daily candles to officially close. But we got lower highs and lower highs that it could push down, okay? So if we start pushing down, look at, we already traded into 50% of our bullish candle right here on Tuesday, okay? So that's a structural candle, closed above all of these bodies and these wicks right here. Did not technically close above the real point of interest, but still significant candle. So, and it was ignited. So just looking at, if we come back down, retrace down to there for support, 47.40. Again, I'm placing an alert there at 47.40. I'm going to create an alert if gold comes up to 48.75. I'm going to create an alert if gold comes back down to 46.50. So you can see how I'm now placing all my alerts on the charts and waiting for the volume. Now for intraday trading, scalping, what I got to do is kind of dissect this body of this big bullish engulfing body. Grab my Fibonacci tool from the opening body to the closing body, and real quickly I can see where exactly 50% is, and you can see it's at our close of yesterday and our open today right there at 47.90. Do we have a little green zone that we can work with right there? So we're still technically trading in this green zone. I will get rid of it once we get down to the hourly in 5 minutes, but I just want you guys to see on the daily how it went up. It retraced. Yesterday we opened, went up there, came back down, closed. Now let's follow today's volume. Okay, from the close, we opened. It was initially bearish. It was black, black, black. We took out yesterday's low, came all the way down there, came through that point of control, and I'm going to place a purple line at today's low, 4775, and pushing up, okay, with a higher low coming right back up to the opening balance. Then the candle flipped and it was blue all the way up. Blue, 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 blue. You see, it was almost engulfing, ready to barcode blue, black, and blue and fill those wicks, but it got rejected with a lower high in that red zone. So our high is 48.40 and rejected, and now offers are pushing it back down. We still have this blue volume that could technically start to come back up this wick, or it could come all the way. Sellers could offer to the opening balance and maybe flip the candle, then we move bearish, or we're consolidating for the next few days. Blue, black, blue, come down, might go back up, but we're in this zone right now. And then altogether, when you look at the overall pattern, we're at the neckline where we were pushing down. All of that is one bottom, and we're right here back into that neckline. So it could technically push down. We'll see if support is here, support is there. I would have a support line also down at 4,500 if we get down there, and then ultimately down to the bigger zone. But if buyers can break it out of here and close above, we'll flip this green, and maybe we might be pushing through there, approaching the all-time high zone. Okay, so that's what we got going on the daily. It's kind of a mixed reaction candle on the daily. There's still 6 hours to go before it closes, but it was initially bearish, flipped bullish, coming back down with a wick, but still maintaining a little bit of blue volume. So now when I move into the hourly, 1H. So now I want to analyze the 1 hour candles. I can see that there was a big push up, and then when it got rejected was Tuesday, right there at 2100, and then push down, starting right after futures market pushing down. We found some support right over here at 6 a.m. Yesterday, and coming back up. Remember that lower high? Then it started to push back down, but you see how it held lots of hourly support right at that 47.90, right at 50% of that green zone. And we had some nice big bullish candles open Wednesday, 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m. And we consolidated, double top right back up there, 1 a.m. And then London and Europe started to bring the volume back down. It came naturally back up today, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., still with lower highs, and a big black candle came down that closed below all of this structure at 9 a.m. Eastern and pushed all the way down to our low at 10 a.m. and then we came back up, and now it's following that big rejection wick. It's coming right back up the hourly candle to potentially trade into 50% of this big black candle on the hourly. So what we can do is, and why I'm saying it's a structural candle is because it closed below this pivot right here on the hourly white line, where it was holding a wick, a body, and a wick, and that one closed below. And now you can see that the white line, 48.12, is our hourly resistance right now. Okay, so that's what we got to see if we can build back above in order to continue to drive up, or if this will be resistance to push this blue volume down. We've got 44 minutes to go until this blue hourly candle closes. So we got to let that thing continue to build. And then when we look at the overall hourly pattern, okay, what I see is bigger picture, like that is one move up. All of this is kind of where the neckline is. That was that second push up. There's the double top. There was, you can see some liquidity that they grabbed. So if you consider this to be all like a second top, now it's trying that second leg to come through here and break the low and then start to drop down there. But the buyers stepped in, holding it and bringing it now back up. So all of this range is where we're consolidating on the hourly. So it could come all the way back up there again and try for a daily high breakout, or it could just be another lower high and then they push us right back down and we're trading back into this and just playing ping pong for the next few hours in here, where you see it just going up, going down, up, down, up, down, up again. Okay, so what I like to do is now bring it into the 5 minutes. I've got some alerts set at those yellow lines. It was nasty, like believe me, if you were trading anywhere inside here from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., that is the worst possible volume from 7 to 10. And that's normally the best session. Like that's, you know, New York and Wall Street, and look at how it's trading. That is very, very frustrating for buyers and sellers. Okay, and then all of that 3-hour accumulation, they redistributed it in 5 minutes at 950 and kind of bottomed out. And now we're retracing back up to see if it will come back into that zone or what we're doing here. So right now, nice liquidity wick. We've got 5-minute support. So what I like to do is, like I know it's going to be a green zone within a green zone, but that yellow point of interest to those bodies and wicks, just showing you the 5-minute support, okay, is right here inside that bigger green zone. The big wick came down, John Wick came down, picked up all of that, and now they're redistributing. Did it close above this 5-minute resistance? Yes. So if we get pullbacks, maybe we'll see if buyers will be somewhere inside this green zone, maybe 50% of this body right here. Ultimately back down to here, and to see now, is it protecting the low of the day? That's the low of the day. We've got a higher low. So if it comes back down in here, again, 47.90 would be the better because it's a daily point of interest. Okay. If you're looking to sell, we just got to know if we're selling back down, we're selling into some support. And if we're buying, we got to, wait for natural pullbacks. Okay. And then just now adding some indicators, 9 EMA. 9 EMA is right here. We're currently above it right now. And then that 200 EMA is right here above us as resistance, right at that hourly resistance. So, like yesterday, we went in a buy, went up 40 pips, but we tapped into that 200 EMA, and that's where the rejection was back down. So you can see how it's still there as well. Okay, and our daily bar, I'm just going to put it on the 15 minutes right over here. Okay, and looking at the time, it's 11:20. So we're in another 10 minutes. We're going to get a new 30-minute candle. Also, what you can do is also analyze the 30-minute candles as well. See, they were very choppy at that 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Just blue, black, came up blue, wicks. Then they really pushed it down. Okay, so now we got a nice 30-minute bullish candle coming up. That's going to close in 10 minutes. Will it close above this support? Because over here, similar, came down, back up, right at there. Then they pushed it back down. Then it came and there was the closing bar. And then we got that continuation. So again, it came right back down. It broke, grabbed some liquidity, created a low of the day, and now they're bringing it right back up. So let's see if we can get some blue volume to close above here. Maybe we can naturally get one more leg pushing up on gold, or sellers might step in and push this back down. And you can see we're in the bar-coded range, black, blue, and that's what our range is to trade or scalp, like right basically inside here. So, if you're looking for big moves, like you just got to measure what you see here. Like from here to there, that was 150 pips, 150 pips coming down, 150 pips going up. Basically, that's what it is. If you're looking for 500 pip trade, you need some type of news, you need some volume, you need a catalyst to start moving it. Otherwise, they're like 150 going up, 150 going down, maybe break out for 200, maybe come back down for 200. Okay, and then we're also now in between the hourly resistance, the 200 EMA, and the top of that green zone. So if we're in this flag right now here, where it just came up, back down, and see if it will go up or come back down. Christoph, welcome. Thank you for joining. Welcome, guys. And NASDAQ is moving rather nicely right now. Okay, so it kind of recovered. If you look at, guys, did you see NASDAQ on the weekly? Look at the weekly candle. The month of April. Unbelievable. Like, look, guys, if we, again, structure, all-time highs right here. If we close above, we could be making this an actual supporting area. Like NASDAQ is unreal. This is on the monthly, the last 3 months, weekly. Here's the monthly. The monthly is this. This monthly candle is ridiculous. For the month of April on NASDAQ. Unbelievable recovery. On the week, we got 3 soldiers coming up. So if we close strong, 1 day and 6 hours to go above here, maybe we'll flip this green and we could possibly continue to drive. So it's unbelievable strength. Like nice, these are the daily candles pushing up nicely. Okay, we'll get to NASDAQ in just a moment, but let's just stick with gold over here. Welcome, Leduzin. Sorry if I butchered that. You just entered our stream and you're waiting for the same setup to buy gold on your half mark. Yeah, it's a decent area, okay, to buy in here. But we also got to recognize, like it had a double top. They pushed it down. There's another lower high. Like when I'm looking from the purple line, there's a lower high. There's a lower high. And we've got now the 200 in this. So they could technically push it back down. If we don't find support in here, they could technically fill that big John Wick down there, the lowest wick of the day, and continue moving down. But right now it's still building some support, coming up, back down, coming up. I'm going to wait till 11:30 for the new 30-minute candle. I just want to take a peek at Netflix, see what Netflix is doing. Netflix was red, now back green. $108.37. It's up 0.6% right now. So that's going into earnings. And guys, just a reminder, just to talk about those call options I have that I showed you right over here. So I bought 5 contracts. Okay, I just want to break this down. Quantity is 5. Okay. Average cost of my contract is $1.53 multiplied by 100. You have to have 100 shares for one contract, so it's about $150. Okay, give or take $150. I bought 5 contracts. That's why it totals book cost $766 with commissions. Now, they were the one when it's up 40%. What I did was, like an 80-20 rule. I have 5 contracts. I closed out 4 contracts up 40%, realized some profit, and then I have 1 remaining contract with a break even. So that's how you can mitigate risk and do an 80-20 rule as well in trading contracts. Because this one expires tomorrow. See, tomorrow, right? So it can continue to go up right into earnings, but if they dump it, they could expire worthless tomorrow. So 40% gain in 1 or 2 days of swinging this trade is a good return. Remember what we talked about Forex, 1%, 2%. You could literally get 40%, 100%, 300, 500% returns by trading options. And that's a way, guys, how to understand 5 contracts. I closed out 4 in profit, 40%, and I got 1 remaining contract running with a break even. So it's exactly how I trade Forex, 80-20 rules. And look at the when we're talking, like, you don't have to have a lot of capital. I did this with small capital. Trading stock and options with $700 it's not a lot of money. Like, it's not 70,000 or 700,000. Some people think you got to have major money. No, it's small. And look at the return, 40% from this. You basically made half your money back. That's not bad. Now continue to compound that. Okay, even if I just bought 1 contract. 1 contract is $150 and make 40% off of it. Okay, that's about $70 from $150 investment. That's a fantastic return when we're talking percentages. And just a reminder, so next week is the Stock and Options Bootcamp all week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, And don't miss the bonus 6-day session on Saturday. That's where we wrap everything up and then we talk about some additional things on there. So it's going to be very educational, very informative. Each day will be minimum 2-3 hours. They will be recorded and uploaded to the website if you cannot make it. All the lifetimers at SST, you guys are enrolled, and everyone else, if you want, you only have a couple more days, and there's an entire package that you get with it. So you get the 6-day boot camp, the 3-month premium plan with us, with everything we offer, and a one-on-one session with me to answer any questions that you have or to help you out with anything that I can do. Will it be here in Zoom, Adil? Yes. I'll provide you guys with your own private Zoom link. It will be uploaded in the Discord VIP channel, okay? Mike, it will be starting at 11 a.m. Eastern, okay? So I won't be doing any live sessions, streaming-wise or trading. It's going to be the boot camp next week. Dave will be doing the morning sessions, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But next week, I'm just going to do the boot camp, okay? And then after we wrap up the boot camp, we're going to go into the Tokyo sessions the next week. And it will be uploaded to the website, guys. So no worries if you miss it. But if you're there, and then it's a different when you're there. But if you miss it, it will be uploaded on the website, okay? Now we're moving into 11:30, okay? So you see we're just still stuck inside here. And I love options trading. I love options and stock trading. Why? Because look at the company I'm trading, Netflix. Like, I have Netflix. I pay for it. I know how much the subscriptions are. I watch it. I see if there's new movies on, things like that. If there are any events, like when they got that boxing with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, when they took over the WWE wrestling and things like that. That helps get more subscribers, you know. They had the big controversy with the Warner Brothers where they tried to take them over. That didn't fall through. That dumped the share price down to $80. Now it's trading around 108, but there was good opportunities. I know a lot of guys that bought shares at $80 and they're holding long, like thousands of shares, and they're holding and they're well into the money. But any companies like Pepsi this morning, if you bank with a financial institution, you can trade it. If you like Rogers Cable, I have Rogers Internet, Rogers Cable, Rogers cell phone. I get dividends through Rogers. They pay for all of that. The dividends that I earn through Rogers pay for my phone bill, pay for my TV, pay for my internet, right? So I use these companies to pay my expenses, right? Why not? If you shop at Walmart, if you go to Costco, you can trade these. You know a little bit about that company. If you go shop at Costco every weekend, you see it's crazy in there. I avoid Costco on Saturdays. I can't stand it. You got to wait in that line to pay for 3 hours. I can't do it. I go on a Wednesday at 1 p.m. when there's nobody there. So when you know that they're making some money. Guys, hit the likes on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. We're moving now into 11:30. Now we're still barcoding black, blue, black, blue. Quiet day in the market, not much going on, guys, okay? It all started right here from 7 a.m. to 10, that cluster of shit zone that we coined was right there. Then they just pulled it down, and then it's coming right back into here, okay? This week is choppy. It has been choppy because gold, it's one of those securities. It can be very frustrating to trade. Some days and some weeks, you know, you're just buying the pullbacks and you're making money. Other days, it's frustrating like this. All I can say is I can't predict what the volume is going to be on any given day or session. All we can do is manage our risk. That's it. Okay. And decide, is this the volume you want to trade or not? Okay. Not when you start to see it kind of doing this, then it's just stuck in here and then a false breakout, then you got to understand that this is not good trading. And you got to just wait for, when they redistribute, because when they redistribute the volume, it's much easier to trade. Like when you start seeing it coming up like this, they redistribute it, pushes up, buy a pullback, right? If you can, it pushes up, you can buy pullbacks. Then it comes down, buy a pullback. Pushes down, you buy a pullback. Pushes down, double bottom pullback. Bigger move. But that's the hardest part of trading is, like, are we in it right now again? It's going blue, black, coming up, wicks pushing down, wicks, black, blue, wicks. Again, we might be in that range right now. So if I even make this range tighter, you can see it's still now consolidating in even a tighter range. If it drops all the way down here, this big bullish candle that came out at 11 a.m. when we started the call, again, we have not transacted into it. You see, it hasn't even pulled back into it, okay? And over down here, where it all started, where there was a wick, the big liquidity, where they swept everything down there and then started to consolidate. Then we got that push. We still have not retraced back down into here or here. So if we're looking for buys, obviously it's better to look inside here, but what if it doesn't come in there? That's the situation. So we got to see, will it build off of this, come back up? There's nothing wrong with waiting, okay? I feel like I'm forced to take trades on this YouTube's, but I don't want to do that. I want to wait patiently like you guys down in here and see what happens. But sometimes, it could build right here and build and ready to go, then we got to take that buy. But let's just wait it out and see what happens. Thank you, Christoph. That means a lot to us at SST. Thank you. Um, um, if we didn't exist, one would have to invent you. I know it's not for granted. We appreciate you so much, and thanks for all you do in day out. Shout outs to Dave and for the great setups and trade signals. Yes, thank you, guys. It is a lot of work that we do here. Everyone thinks it's easy to stream, to do this. It's not, guys. You guys see the chat. Sometimes I got to deal with a lot of crazy people, but we're doing this helping out, just for free on YouTube. And we still got to deal with a lot of shit. So to come in every single day, it's not easy. There's days where I'm like, fuck it. What am I even going on YouTube for? What am I even doing this for? For what? I make my money trading. I make a good amount of money trading that I don't need to come on YouTube and deal with shit every day. But I can push. I can get that out. It's like trading, you take a loss, you move on. You gotta stay focused. So I'm learning with streaming too. Coming on YouTube, you're gonna deal with some crazy people, but you just gotta deal with it and move on. Next day, we're gonna get some new people. Might be much better, but it's not easy, guys. I like trading. I don't like streaming. Okay. I enjoy following candlesticks, dissecting candlesticks. I'm not here to be your psychologist. I can be your trading psychologist, but like someone right now on YouTube is begging me to give them $5,000. Like, no one is going to give you $5,000. Just think about it. You're a complete stranger. I don't know who you are, and I'm going to just give you $5,000. Like, stop. Focus on the candles. Learn a skill, and learn how to make $5,000. I'm not even looking at the comment. I saw it and I'm just moving away from it. Like, there's some days where I feel like I want to shut the YouTube chat and just focus on Zoom and focus on the charts. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to punish everyone who's actually here learning and doing good. There's one bad apple in a bunch, we can't let it spoil. So we just got to stay positive, guys, everybody. There's going to be days where we lose, like yesterday. There's going to be days where we win, like the other day. And there's days where we're going to not take a trade or break even. But That's trading. You're going to have to learn to be mature and understand. You're not going to win every single day you're trading. Okay. But you got to know how to handle these days where it's difficult to trade, where if you're getting stopped out, you got to learn how to walk away. If I'm that guy to help you get that in your head to say, hey, let's walk away. Let's, it's not good. We got to learn that. Okay. So we got a nice big push. And this is what's frustrating. I'm waiting for a pullback at this red line and down in here. And then I watch this massive blue candle build. That's frustrating. Okay. As a patient and disciplined trader who's waiting for this and down here, and when I watch this huge bullish candle, it's hard, right? Because now I want a FOMO trade off of this. Because I'm like, man, I was waiting for it come down, come down, come down. It was coming down naturally. All I was waiting for was a tap of this red line or deeper down in here. And then I watch this huge blue candle just printing right now. Okay. But we got to wait for it to close. Is it a structural candle? Will it close above the hourly? Because even if this is a big blue candle coming all the way up here and closes, again, then what I can do is just cut that blue candle in half and maybe look to buy a pullback off of that. But I know that the depth of market is also getting stronger in here. So if I'm still waiting for this, I know it's getting stronger, right? So just remain focused. And what I see here is a lot of indecision. It came down, came up, then rejected. The volume is still in this consolidated zone still. It hasn't really done anything. Unless you bought that candle and you pipped and dipped. That's it. If you got in and you got out and you made your money, that's fine. But what happens if this thing gets rejected all the way down here and then comes down to these levels? Happens a lot of times, but I see it still in this flag. Guys, I'm just going to check Discord. What you guys are up to. Akimbo, welcome. Forex is in the Discord, welcome. Surge, wow, 3,400, shit, done for the day. Good for you, man. Wow, actually for the week. Yes, sir. Oh, wow, you're going full-time in trading starting June and July. Nice, congratulations, man. You deserved it. Surge, you're working hard here. Halvinder, welcome, brother. Good job, man. Good trades, guys. I remember this. I watched this guy when he went all in. Fuck it, he went all in. Some days we're like that too in trading. Screw it. Let's just push all the chips in. NAS is on a tear, Sergio. Okay, I'll do a top down on NASDAQ as well. If we continue to stay in this consolidated range, what I'll do is a top down on NASDAQ because, yeah, we're moving into earnings with Netflix. So I'll do it real quickly. Really fast, guys. Again, like a fight. Wow. Holy shit. These daily candles are unbelievable. Okay. Unbelievable. That was the previous all-time high. So we are impulsively breaking out of an all-time high with Netflix earnings scheduled at 4 p.m. So the zone below the previous all-time high was right there. So again, watch what I'm doing. I'm stretching it into the future. That's when we came in, pushed down. Now you see we are impulsively, like if this was a 5-minute candle, it's a daily candle with 5 hours to go. But you see short wick, it came down and it's impulsively. This could be a fake out, could completely fake out and start dumping next week, right? So we got to know where this body will close on the daily. Gold is still inside here. Samuel, welcome, brother. Thank you for joining. Okay, so still in this range. So like, look at these big body candles, man. So what I look at is like right there was a pivot, was a resistance where it was 4 wicks, 5 wicks, then that bodies. We closed above it and it was gone. There's a real pop. Look at that firecracker. That daily candle Monday this week, look, it came all the way down there, pushed all the way. Look at where it closed with no wick. Look how the next day opened. It was in drawdown for 5 minutes, probably at the open, for 1 minute. And as soon as it came up, look, the pop and the drive. Okay, so like even just cutting these bars in half, we are nowhere near that. Again, short wick, small, shallow pullback, come back up, the pop and the squeeze. Again, yesterday, right to the high close. There was a decent pullback, but it's still shallow. It didn't even come into 50%. And look at it, pop and driving. Now, this is price discovery. This is price discovery, okay? So this is why it's important to understand psychological numbers, because we have never traded in the history of NASDAQ up here, okay? So you got to go with psychological numbers. Go in 100 increments if you need to. Look, if I do, and then someone's going to say, oh, well, Ron, how did you're looking at the wick there? No, you guys know I always say 26,400. Next one would be 26,500. And I place more emphasis on 500 and 750 and 1,000 and 250 because those are those 25, 250 point increments. But definitely right there. So 400, that's our daily high currently. Could it continue to drive? Yes. If it does, maybe to 500. Okay, so I'll come back to NASDAQ little bit by little bit, but what we're watching is gold come down. See that big blue candle? And if you bought that FOMO, what I was explaining, then they push you down and it's a black candle. And then you're in drawdown. So that's what I'm saying, guys. That FOMO can destroy us in trading. It really can. So we have to learn the art and the skill of being patient and disciplined and waiting. At these, just where the bigger buyers are, we have to wait. I want to be at least buying with the bigger buyers. I'm not guaranteed to make money, but I have a high probability, a better probability than just buying any bullish FOMO candle. Okay, do you guys understand what I'm saying? And some days, yeah, we're going to miss out on trades. You're going to miss out. But you still have to train your brain to stay disciplined because you got to know what's going on in depth of market. Like the depth of market gets stronger and stronger and stronger. More orders come in, more orders come in, more orders come in. Okay, you got to know that. When you know that, then you know how trading works. And when every trader says patience and discipline, patience, you get paid. That's exactly what they are talking about. We have to patiently wait because as it's moving away, that doesn't mean that this block right here just disappears. It could continue to get stronger, could strengthen. There could be now more pending buyers stepping in, more pending buyers stepping in, more pending buyers want to get in here. As it has it not come in, more are coming in. Okay. And sometimes the trade diverges away. Like look at NASDAQ. Okay, NASDAQ on the daily is a clear example. Right here, there was patient traders waiting to buy the pullback on NASDAQ right there. It's not there. Patient pullback traders waiting to buy NASDAQ in that point of control. It's not there. Okay, so NASDAQ has not even pulled back in 1, 2, 3, 4 consecutive days, driving thousands of pips. Okay, like from the body to where we're at right now, like 2,000. Okay, so unbelievable move, and there's been no pullback. Okay, so what you got to think about is maybe next week, let's say it's a bearish market, or when it comes down, you might get a nice pullback, and then you can buy it. Okay, it might come back up, it might be a double top, then it coming down, and then we're selling off. Okay, but right now tech is moving. AI is moving. Quantum computing is moving. TSM had their earnings yesterday. It was fantastic earnings. Again, and look at us. Blue, black, blue, still in that zone accumulating. Okay, so I can finish off NASDAQ a little bit. That big daily candle. Now, price discovery, right? You got some zones above you. On the hourly, okay? Wow, hourly. Holy shit. Like, look how overbought it is. Double top overbought at 85. Like, this is ridiculous. You know, like this RSI indicator. Look at it. It came up to the first peak, 85. Coming up again. And look at where the peaks are. Right here. Right here. And look at the squeeze. That's the biggest squeeze ever. It's unbelievable. All buying, yeah. Every dip is getting gobbled up. Even today, look at those 5-minute candles got gobbled right back up, okay? On the hourly, wow. Okay, so we got some hourly structure. At least we can look at something. We've got hourly support right here, 26,180. white line. There's the pivot. It came down and just stopped right there and continued to push up. Okay, so I'm going to place an alert at this white line, 26,185. If NASDAQ gets down here, I might buy at that hourly white line. Could be a double bottom on the hourly. Like, see, one leg come down, one leg pushing up. Let's say, for example, that's the resistance. If it comes down, could be a second bottom to go up. If it can't be the second bottom, I'm going to have an alert at the yellow line. That's, I know now, a daily point of interest. So it's not hourly, it's daily. That one would be nice to get a pullback. Okay, if that one doesn't hold, look at there. There's hourly structure right there. Place an alert right there, right? I can do this all day with any security and sit and wait patiently. If you do this with like 3 securities a week, then you're going to get alerted at some point. Like if you do NASDAQ gold and let's say GBP USD, each day you're going to get an alert, and at least you're trading at a high probable area where there's bigger buyers and sellers. Okay, so now in the 5 minutes, we had some structure right here. That was the double top. It was nice drop, but it found right that support right there, came back up, lower high. They dropped it. They broke that low, and like you can see how it broke down today, leading into Wall Street. Big dump at 950, but look at the gobble up. Holy, came right back up into 50%. Pull back, didn't come double bottom. They're protecting it. Higher low, continue close above, flag, push up, pull back, ignited candles, short wicks, continue go. Now we're getting a little choppy in here. Blue, black, blue. Okay, so they pinned it so far exactly psychologically at 26,400. Okay, and now it could be pushing down, but we gotta watch and see NASDAQ inside here. And gold, again, I see it was blue, blue, blue. They pushed it right back down. So they could be pushing it down to fill those wicks and then naturally touch this or into that yellow, into that zone, okay? So if we're looking for buys, maybe we entertain something inside here. Guys, if you can kindly leave us a like and subscribe to the channel, thank you guys. We're beating Bitcoin. Remember back at, I think when we had 89,000 subs, Bitcoin was 89,000, and it was the race to 100,000. Us or Bitcoin? Who would hit 100,000? A lot of you guys bet on us. Okay, this is not good volume. And don't forget later tonight, guys, Mr. Trump is speaking at 7 p.m. at a hotel in Las Vegas. Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. I see Big Trump there. Are you guys listening to Swag? He's giving out some call options or sell options. Geraldo, you remember that. Post New Yorks have been real choppy this week. Real choppy. Sometimes we get some nice trading volume, but this has been real chop fest. NASDAQ is very strong. Okay, we got some news coming from Trump about 5 minutes ago. Trump, Israel and Lebanon will formally begin a 10-day ceasefire at 5 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday. Okay, so they're going to go through the weekend with some war, but we got a ceasefire at 5 p.m. on Tuesday. Maybe that's when Donald Trump's call options expire. maybe that's when he's gonna cash out. Okay. But Trump said here, Israel and Lebanon will formally begin a 10-day ceasefire at 5 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday, when his call options expire. U.S. Trade Representative Greer, there is a continued offshoring to Mexico. We have had talks about change. Okay, so that's the USMCA. That's the United States Mexico Canadian agreement with Canada about free trade. What else we got? We'll see. Okay. So if there's a ceasefire next week on Tuesday, what have you guys seen the pattern when there's a ceasefire regarding the stock market, regarding S&P 500, NASDAQ, and Dow Jones? What do you guys see? Do you guys see when there's a ceasefire the markets sell off, or they continue to pump? Pump, yeah. So how much more can NASDAQ pump? This is so maybe reading this, okay, maybe tomorrow, Friday, maybe it pumps a little higher today with Netflix. Maybe Netflix has good earnings to drive it a little further up for a squeeze. And then tomorrow is a buy the rumor, sell the news day. Friday, I'm just, just my analysis. Maybe Friday traditionally is a selling day. Okay, maybe it cools off. I'm not saying it's going to be a market dump or a market crash, but a cool off. And then it picks up again Monday and Tuesday, and then they announce ceasefire, and then we got new all-time highs. But we just need like a cool off leg, which could happen tomorrow, if everything. But I never believe anything that comes out of Trump's mouth. One day it's this, one day it's that. 5 minutes is this, next 10 minutes he changes it. So you got to take this with a grain of salt. Holy, this is horrible trading volume. Emmanuel, this choppiness is nasty. I know it is. Believe me. AMD is up 8%. Holy. Okay, so tech is really rallying. What broker do I use for Forex? Fusion Markets. Fusion Markets is what I use. They're based out of Australia. Really, really good broker. But they're unfortunately not available for U.S. residents and all of Canada except where Dave and I are in Ontario, Canada. We have new laws over here that don't allow us. They consider us like Americans. But we are I'm grandfathered in with them. I've had them for a long time. So I'm under their old agreement. So if I was to cancel with Fusion today and look for a new broker, I would never be able to get them back. So I'm not canceling. I'm very, very happy with them. nonstop NASDAQ. Like all week with NASDAQ or tech, you could have literally thrown a dart at any tech security and you would be making money right now. That's how easy it is to trade in a bull market. Is you could literally pull up right now. I could pull up NASDAQ, all the securities in it, and we could literally throw a dart at any one of these securities. You could throw a dart at NVIDIA, you are making money. Apple, you're making money. Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Broadcom, Meta, Tesla, Palantir, ASML, Netflix. I threw a dart at Netflix this week in the money. Costco, AMD is up. I just had 8% today. Cisco, AstraZeneca, Micron Technology, T-Mobile, Applied Materials, Shopify, Intuitive Surgical, ISRG, Lam Research, Pepsi. Pepsi had their earnings today. Intel, Intuit, Qualcomm, Amgen, and Booking Holdings, PDD Holdings, Texas Instruments, KLA Corporations, Gilead Sciences, ARM Holding. You could literally have thrown a dart at any one of these and you're in the money. Emmanuel, question. Around what drawdown percent you think a trader should take a break? Emmanuel, do you mean daily drawdown, weekly drawdown? Are you in a slump? Is the trader in a slump like monthly? When is it time to take a break altogether from trading? Is that what you mean? Yes. Okay. 10%. 10%. What I'm saying is, if you're trading within your risk management, Emmanuel, let's say you're doing 0.5% per day and you just can't get it together for a couple weeks, and then ultimately you're down 10%. Maybe you did then you bumped it to 1% to get back your losses, and you suffered some revenge trading. All of that. 10% is the red flag. That's when you step away from the trading. I'm not saying step away from live trading. Step away, but please take a week off, 2 weeks off, whatever, how much long it takes to learn what's caused this slump. What is going on with your psychology? What has caused you to lose 10%? Maybe it was in 1 month's time you've lost it, okay? But this is the time where now the losses can really compound, and 10% can turn into 20 and 30 and half the count is gone. So my rule of thumb is, same with me. If I have a shitty month, shitty quarter, and I lose 10%, that's it. You won't see Ron on YouTube anymore. I'm calling it off. You won't see me on Zoom. I need to really study what is going on. Why am I taking these losses? But yeah, 10% is like rehab. It's that's it. You got to enroll in trader rehab. You said it perfectly. But that's what I would do. 10% goes across the board for everybody. And for those that are using prop firms, maybe that doesn't. But I'm talking about traders that are using their live capital. If I was to deposit $10,000 in my account, live money, real money, and I'm trading within my risk management each day, and now I've lost 10%, I've lost $1,000 and I'm down to 9,000, I really need to stop and focus. I need to learn what caused that, figure out what's going on with my trading, and then when you figure it out, Samuel, just to carry on, piggyback off of that, let's say you do figure it out. You figure out what's going on. Don't just go jump right back into your live account. Start off slow with a demo until you get that groove back, until you get that rhythm. And then once you get the rhythm back, then go back into your live. And then your goal would be to recover that 10%, however long it takes you, not to recover it in a day, in a week, or a month. If it takes you 3 months, 6 months to recover that 10%, that's how long it's going to take. Okay, then you got to get your account back to break even, and then you figure out what's working, come up with a plan, and go from there. That's ideal, Samuel, what I say, but 99% of traders won't say, Ron, you're no way, no way. When if you lose 10%, you want to gain it back on the next candle. You want to gain it back on the next that's it, the next trade. But it doesn't work like that, guys. It does not. Trading takes a lot of time, especially if you go in that drawdown. That's why I always say 0.5% to maximum 1% per day. Because if you lose that, it's not easy to get back, but it's easier than blowing 5 or 10% in a day or a week. And we see it constantly. We see it constantly. Emmanuel, you're down 2%, but it's a win loss. My winning percent dropped below 32% for the past 60 trades. Just get back to the drawing board. Get back to the drawing board. You are a very disciplined trader. You can get this. It's the learning curves we go through as traders. I went through this myself, and it took me a long time to recover, but you can do it. And then when you come back and you get through this, you're that much stronger of a trader. Okay, so we're pushing back up. So it found the bottom. Good holding. See, again, I'm waiting for a pullback there and there. It's not there. So it's still building. Okay, but we've just had impulse breaks above this zone. Impulse, impulse, impulse. Let's see if we can get some blue closing volume or break for a new high. Yeah, that's a good point, Seabrod. Seabrod is saying something, Emmanuel. It's also currently the volume these days are very difficult to trade. That's a great point. Maybe the slump could be attributed to how the volume is trading the last couple weeks. But your analysis is correct, right? But just the volume, like me, you saw on the YouTube calls this week too. I went in a buy. My bias was buy. I had my stop loss when it came down black. And then I said, that's enough. I don't even want to deal with this trade anymore. And as soon as we ended that call, that big bullish candle, I was waiting for that. I was waiting for it. And then when it was coming down, I took my stop loss and I reduced it, and then I removed myself from the trade altogether, and then to watch a big blue candle. So it could be just the way how the volume is moving. Okay, not necessarily you're doing anything wrong. It's the volume. Okay, don't be so hard and critical on yourself too, guys. Understand the market is very difficult. Like, how do we trade this morning? And this is prime time, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Look at what the market presented. Like, it's just very, very difficult. How do you even make sense of this? And to be patient for 3 hours and not even take a trade? Wow. Okay. I guarantee you a lot of buyers got sucked in on that and then it pulled back down. A lot of sellers got pulled down into that black candle and then they pulled it back up. All the buyers that were holding the accumulation, they got stopped out on that redistribution down. The sellers won that fight. And now we're into noon. So let's get off of these 5 minutes and go look at our hourly candles. Let's try and clean up and make some sense out of all of that cluster into the hour. So our hourly, we came down 9 a.m., 10 a.m., back up, closed. This one we just started was very bullish and closed. So you still see it's a nice bullish candle. It didn't engulf all of the structure to the left, but still just closed above a high and created a higher high. So again, waiting in this right at 4,800 for a pullback. Could pull back in here, then we buy out of there. But it's not there yet. Okay. What about 1 minute? Oh man. Yeah, if you guys want to check out the 1 minutes. I don't like this. Okay, blue, black, blue, coming down, all inside here. 1 minutes are not clean right now. We gotta, you gotta get something starting to move. Starting to move. Right now, we're not starting to move. I'd stay off of 1 minutes for now. Right now, 1 minutes and 5 minutes are very ugly. Okay. Yeah, we're trading right back at Matthew 48.05. That static level. Yeah, we're right back there. So that's what I mean. Those static levels. You can buy and sell off of static levels all day, every day. You just got to watch the volume. That's why I do a top down analysis. I find daily points of interest, hourly points of interest. You can even find 5 minute points of interest and set alerts and physically wait for the volume to come into those points of interest. Timmy, she's going to need some juice to break the hourly EMA. I don't know if we'll get it this session. Yeah, let's see. Hourly EMA. The 9 right up here, Timmy. Yeah, it just kind of broke it. We'll see. NASDAQ keeps pumping. Holy shit. NASDAQ's unstoppable. Okay, so now we could be developing the leg that might push down, potentially. We came in, okay, lots of wicks. Coming back down, this is the neckline. Coming back up again. So coming back down, that's a pattern we recognize, M. So, like it could push, come down, in, maybe break that, then come down here. Then that's where it could come back up, okay? So we still got to patiently wait down there, okay? But if it's still technically inside this cluster. Like it's difficult to trade this. I don't know, maybe the entire session we're still in here. Like look, it was trading, here's an example. 3 hours in this cluster. 3 hours. And prime time, 7 to 10 a.m. Look at, there's 6:55, there's 7 a.m. All the way to 9:45, basically to almost 10 a.m. So we're in, again, one of these clusters. Shit clusters, yeah. Yeah. See, I want to also be here to educate too, guys. I know it's exciting for the live trading and everything, but also for education. Listen to me, okay? And pay attention to what I'm saying. If I was trading alone, okay, and I want to make this clear to everybody on Zoom and YouTube and whoever's listening. If I was coming in, and normally I trade before YouTube, I trade by myself and things like that, okay? If I was trading this and I see this cluster or I see this cluster in the morning, I walk away from the markets. I know it's hard to believe. A lot of you guys think I just sit at my computer 24 hours a day and just stare at candles. I used to, but not anymore. So when I see this, I walk away. I'm mature enough to understand that the volume will not trade in here all day. There will be a move after all of this accumulation, either to go up or it will come down. We know that. That's facts, okay? And we don't need to trade this and guess what the outcome is going to be. We can allow the market to pump up here, or we can allow the market to come down here, okay? Because then if we get that, then maybe we can find structural candles and then base some high probable setups after that. But that's why I have alerts, okay? And there's nothing wrong with walking away from the market. Have hobbies. I love working out. I have a gym in my garage. I go in there. If I see this, it's an excuse to go work out, or go for a walk, or go cut the grass, or go do something, right? Where you don't have to sit here and trade this, okay? Imagine, I guarantee you there's someone on YouTube or Zoom that traded this morning and made critical mistakes and maybe lost 0.5% or 1% trading this garbage today. And now looking back at it, do you see how clear it is, the picture? Like, I understand, it's normal. I trade this shit too, and sometimes I lose. But looking back at it, you know when Ron says sometimes it just takes, again, and pay attention, because no one listens to so I always got to say pay attention to when I'm saying something important. When you see candlesticks, now I study candlesticks, so this I'm telling you, I know this. Okay, this is not me watching a webinar that I learned this off of a webinar. This is me physically watching candlesticks 24 hours a day back in the day. When I see two bodies, I always say some days it takes two bodies to trap volume. See that? If you just did it with that blue and that black candle, the barcode, and then you see it went into the third candle, and it went into the fourth candle, then it went into the fifth candle, and you see, okay, right away you know it's shit. So then that's why I always say stretch the zone into the future. And then you'll see, okay, it wasn't much happened. Then you can kind of just bring it down there. Black, blue, black, blue. That was an interesting candle. It closed above. And then when it came down to the retest, it was a bearish candle closing below 50%. So when it came into 50% of the black candle, and again, they pushed it back down. This was an interesting candle. Big black candle coming down here. If you sold it, that's impulse. And look what they did. They brought it right back up and closed it inside that zone. Okay? And then when you see this, you can continue to maybe extend it right there. And you see it's still barcoding. Then finally, they redistributed. Okay? So we're going through the same shit right now. Same thing. You will be that much better of a trader if you learn to walk away. I'm telling you the honest to God facts. If you learn to analyze this type of volume and walk away, you're saving yourself so much frustration. You're saving yourself so much stress. You're saving yourself money by losing. You're doing something good for your health. You can go work out, right? Believe me, if you do this, your life will be better. Your hair will not fall out, okay? You'll keep your hair on your head. You will not get stressed out. You won't get trapped to trade. What happens if I take a trade and then now I'm stuck? And now I got to make a session out of this garbage time. And I got it because I got to get my money back, right? If you avoid this altogether, you can avoid lots of mistakes, okay? You guys need to learn what is a trending market, okay? When it trends nicely. Gold on the 5 minutes has not been trending. It's been very difficult, okay? Maybe NASDAQ is a better security to show how it's trending, okay? Because it's, yeah, like here's a trending. See, it's not in that consolidation anymore. They start to break it out. Okay, even if you cut one of these big body candles in half and you wait patiently at a point of control, at this one, this was a big blue candle, sorry. And then if I found the point of control of it, right, eventually, look, it gives you an alert, okay? Yes, it took time to develop, but look how it came right back down, right into that control. And you could have bought the extension coming out of there, like right there, for example. Maybe my stop loss was below the point of control. I see it come up, wick, close. There's the body that closes above. There's a short wick. That's my entry. Stop loss below there. I'm targeting the previous high. But in an uptrend, maybe I want a little bit more than a new higher high, right? And then once it breaks, you can, or pushing up to a certain level, you take your stop loss, start reducing it, getting it to break even. When it gets to a level, you close some profit and continue looking for another structural bar that you could buy pullbacks off of, okay? Trending markets. Right now, we are not trending. We are in cluster zone. Very difficult to trade. Big Nation, Big Fit Nation, run. I feel some crazy FOMO, bro. Laugh a lot, as you said, 3, 4, 5 hours of the charts and no trades. I understand, but that's trading, right? It's like fishing. Any of you guys go fishing, you know, with old school fishing, with a bobber and a worm? You go to the pond, you throw you cast your bobber with a worm. Some days you're going to get bites. Some days you're not going to get you might be fishing for 3 hours, and you just go at a bad time, and the fish they've already eaten and they're not biting. That's like trading. See, we're fishing right now. We're fishing for some bites. We're not getting any. These fish are not hungry right now. Borks, have a great day. Catch you for the sell-off tomorrow. We'll see. Let's see if it plays out. Maybe post Netflix earnings. If it continues to melt up on a Friday, that could be a historic short squeeze as well, because there could be a lot of shorts now coming on the top on a Friday to short the market down, and the market could just naturally just continue to squeeze through there. It's unbelievable. This is like when I'm looking at NASDAQ, normally I trade US 30, but looking at NASDAQ on the monthly, this is like, this is a God candle. Like one candle monthly, like one bar. It's engulfed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 months. And we're not even, how many more days do we still have in April? 14 days. We're at half the month. Holy shit. Like this thing could continue to squeeze and melt up to like 27, 28,000. Who knows? My goodness. And if they announce peace negotiations next week, that could be where we get a melt. But I'm thinking of a pullback tomorrow, and then it continues to drive. But this thing is, so when you're dissecting this God candle right here, when you go into the weekly is 3 massive bullish weeks. On the daily, look at this. This was like gold. Remember gold back when gold started to break out to go to all-time highs? The daily candles were very, very, very similar to this. Look at the last few days. No wick, tiny pullback, pop. No wick, tiny pullback, pop. Short wick, slight pullback, and continue to pop. Unbelievable. Shorts on NASDAQ, I feel for them. They're getting their accounts destroyed right now. But that's the way trading goes. Okay, now we're starting to push down. So let's see for closing volume, structural candle, big black candle to come down, fill that wick, maybe get down here. It looks like an M pattern, okay? One top, the neckline is all right here. There's the second top. Here's now we're getting the push down. Closing in 3 minutes. So it could just come down here again, get a wick, and go right back in. right? Just like this one, came down and then got right back in. So that's why I like to see closing volume if it can actually close below. Where's our 5-minute structure? It's the bodies are right here, 4,800. Okay. So now let's see if they start to redistribute. Okay, now when we look at those 30s, okay, now the 30-minute candle, see how it's coming down? Might come down into this control area. Will it come all the way down into here? Will it build back up, come back in that consolidation? This 30-minute candle is closing in 6.5 minutes. Okay, and we're watching on the 5. Guys, thank you. 400 viewers on YouTube. It's been some difficult volume to watch, but we appreciate you guys being here. If you can leave us a like and subscribe to the channel, thank you guys. Let's get to 96,500 soon. NHL playoffs are all set, ready to go Saturday. Montreal starts Sunday night against Tampa Bay Lightning. That's going to be an amazing series. Tampa's favored -300. I'm going to put $500 on Montreal. The money I make from the Netflix, I'm going to parlay it into Montreal beating Tampa Bay. It's like young kids playing against adults. I think this is Tampa's last run. They're all veterans. They're the older guys, and they're playing the young kids against Montreal. So it's going to be really interesting. Okay, here we go. So this is a big bearish structural candle. Look at the cut line. Could be exactly where those bodies are. Okay. There. Close. Cut is right there. Previous support turns to resistance. So what we're looking, if we want to sell, is a blue candle to drive back into here and potentially go back down. It might not be this next candle, right? It might take some time because it might continue dropping with this momentum, okay? So let's do it properly. Let's figure out the point of control. Fib, open, close. 50%. Look, 0.5 is right where there was a body and body support, turns to resistance right exactly at 50%. That's how I learned how to do this, by studying candles and cutting them in half, and you see lines just naturally line up with the Fibonacci. Okay, even if it moves away, like it came up, shallow pullback, and moves away, that does not mean that it won't come in here. Okay, I want everyone to understand that. Okay, just remember that is an official point of control. That is a structural bar. Okay, maybe I should write this down so everyone understands this. Okay, this is a structural, hopefully I can spell today, structural bearish bar. Closed below support. We found the bearish point of control. So now we're patiently waiting for a pullback into it. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. If it's a shitty trading like volume, we can still make it into education. This is important. Okay. Now look at those wicks on the bullish candles. On those, Do you see a lower low? I don't yet, okay? I don't see a lower low. I see the as low as it came, and then it came down, it's held, and then it had that blue volume come all the way right up to there. So we still have not tagged into the red zone. That's a lower high. The sellers are there ready to continue to push it down. So now what I do is when I figure this out, I place an alert in there. So look at what I'm doing. Right click, adding an alert. Okay, that's another thing. In here, alert added. Yeah, coincidence. That's another thing we can write down. Good for observing that. The point of interest is psychological 4800. Okay, so we got the 4800 psychological. I'm not going to spell all that. Psych number. Okay, so it's like a order. Now you see it broke the low. Now it's coming all the way back up blue. So let's see what happens in here. If they might close above here, then we invert it green, then we know they picked up liquidity and we're still above the bigger green zone, and we could look for buys coming out of there, okay? But let's just see what happens here. This is how we learn. And the question will be, have we transacted inside this? The question is no right now. It got up to right there and they pushed it down again. One more minute to go into the close. Okay, so again, it came in there. They're offering, they're pushing it down. It's a bullish spin top candle. 50-50 right now going into the last 30 seconds. So initially there was sellers and it came back up with buyers. Sellers are pushing it right back down. We might close with virtually right where we opened. Then the next candle is a coin toss to come back up or go back down. We'll know with the closing volume. Okay, so close blue ignited. So blue ignited has momentum to continue to fill that wick and get in here. They've rejected it. See how the candle now flashed black. So it lost that ignited open early. Okay, so it's got a wick. Now, will the sellers continue to push it down or are they holding it to bring it back up? Okay, so filled back up with blue. Okay, so now again, its job is to continue to fill that wick and drive into our POC. And you see the 9 EMA now. The 9 EMA is slowly coming into that zone. We got rejected now. That's a 3-bar play. You can enter in a sell without coming into the POC if you believe that, okay? Just understand, it has not transacted in that POC. So this is like a 3-bar Tetris piece. Right here, you can see the bodies. Right there. When I say it takes 2 bodies to understand, right there, those 2 bodies, that's an inside bar. And if you take this, it's on impulse, but you're running it down with the Tetris piece and the added volume to continue push through. But we have not came into the POC. So all of this selling volume is happening without even coming into that structural candle. And someone will say, well, Rob, why didn't we take the sell? I'm trying to explain these pieces to you so you understand. So when you see these, then you can trade these. I can trade these myself. But if we're still waiting, what I'm trying to say is if we're still waiting for there, we're still waiting. Nothing has transacted in there. Matthew, check the 1 hour on gold. Yeah. Yeah, so it's coming right down. So you see how it came up? That's what I mean, guys. Hourly switch ups. It came up 11. We opened bullish. See, the hourly did not do its job, fill the wick. Now it's coming all the way right back down. So we're like basically barcoding on the hourly. If you see this hourly cluster right there, where it was black, blue, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. And then now we're right back in here. Black, blue, and we're right back in black. Okay, so that's telling us how choppy like gold is. On the hourly, 5 minutes. Okay, so now it's pushing down. Remember, now we're transacting the first time in this bullish point of control of this structural bullish candle. Let's now do the analysis. Grab your Fibonacci of this. There it is. So Ron was almost with the 50% sitting there with that red line. I know it's going to be a lot of green zones within green zones, but I just want you guys to see what's happening, right? So now what we should see is a wick coming out of this zone. We should, but this might be heavy selling pressure that cuts right through this. It could even close below this. Then that, see how it just bypassed that? Just it cut right through there. That's the Tetris piece pushing down with the volume. Now we're getting into the daily yellow line. Okay, that's where the big, look at it. This is the redistribution now. Okay, so now we got to get serious now. Now they're redistributing the volume. Okay, so that M pattern played out, Tetris piece. Take a snapshot of this. Learn this, guys, because this is a very common move in trading. You got to add this to your playbook. And I don't care if someone says, well, Ron, you didn't take the sell. I don't give a shit about that. I'm breaking something down that will make you money if you understand what's going on here. Okay, now we got a wick where in the bigger daily zone. So if you're a seller, sellers need to learn that's where the buyers are. Close your trade, realize your money, because look at the massive wick we got coming up. Okay, and where did it produce? It was not inside this zone. See how strong it cut right through? But look at where the wick was, in the bigger one. Okay. And this candle is closing in 10 seconds. Now look at it. If same POC, now we're back in it. Okay, so it closed below that. So that technically that POC green is red now. It's red, still red. And we still have not transacted in that first one. So if it comes all the way back up there, that could be a strong selling point, 4,800. That would be an ideal area selling at a premium level. And we got that big wick. There's another big wick, and we're close to the lowest point of the day. So now we got to see, are they building it up here to bring it back up? I'll get rid of that Tetris piece for now because it works for 3 bars. Big bar, inside bar, big bar. That's it. Tetris piece. I'll do a 15-minute tutorial breaking those things down for you guys. Okay, now the big bullish candle. Again, remember what I said earlier about the wicks? When you see a nice wick rejected out of a point of interest, that's a 60 pip wick. So if the bullish candle continuing would be 60 pips coming right back into there. So that's how you can, gauge off of a wick, how much like volume it picks up and the continuation. NASDAQ, okay, pushed all the way down to the previous orange line, which was an all-time high. Now it could be all-time high support now. Okay, so now we're getting volatility in the markets. Things are moving now. Volume is moving. Okay, so it came back in there, rejected back down. Okay, now I'm going to ask, is anybody in a trade on gold? Like right now? That hourly came all the way down in there and back up. Okay, the hourly has had a lot of support wicks here. Here. Big bullish ignited candle built there. They had that big push down to the lowest point of the day, closed back in there. Big bullish candle last hour, but we got a bearish candle coming right back down. Emmanuel, you're in the sell? Nice. Okay. So as long as the lower high rejections are good, if volume still stays below each one of these red blocks, it could continue to do its job and fill that wick. But we have to be very careful here because we're selling into a daily point of interest that's being protected so far by the lowest point of the day. Okay. So this could form like a bottom, like how that's all one bottom. Our neckline is that big consolidation area coming back down. This, if it builds, could be building that second bottom to cut through that cluster and drive back up to 48.12, maybe up to 48.20. But there's a lot of selling pressure. This 15-minute candle is a hanging man. It might flip back up bullish. Okay, so I'm just watching, observing, waiting for bars to close, figure out what's going on. We still have not came into that structural bar that started the selling pressure, that 4,800. And look at now the volume has opened up. It's not trading like in this range where it was just, let's say, 60 pips in there. Now you can see the body of like this last candle. It's 130 pips. Okay. This candle is 70. Okay, so around now we're looking at 70 to 100 pip candles now. So volume has entered the market. Volatility has entered the market. This candle closed right inside. It broke out inside. So it's still inside. Notice how I did not make the zone green. Why? Because it was the exact Fibonacci. Okay? I'm not gonna just say and guess that I see it went up and I see it closed inside. So it's still red zone. So you see how it came up and now it's pushing back down. And now we got to see higher low support. Will we get a bullish candle break out of here and actually physically close above? Or is it going to continue coming down? This is where we might need to continue potentially selling with this, right? As it breaks here, could start filling the wicks and pushing down. And then if we do sell, maybe place your stop losses above this point of control, above here, to be protected in case it comes back up in there and you're still protected by that. Ceasefire confirmed. Nothing is confirmed. I'm going to go into sell. I'm going to continue with this selling pressure. So I'm going to do what I just said. I'm going to place my stop loss above the point of control in case it comes back in drawdown. I want to be kind of protected to come down. And I'm looking to fill the wick and drive maybe down to the bottom of the green zone for now. Okay, so I'm going to sell on gold. I want to continue with this selling pressure. I was waiting to get it in there. It's not there yet, right? So I like this, how it came up, still closed in that red zone and pushing down, okay? So what I'm looking for is continuation to fill that wick, 60, 70 pips down there, and then get to the bottom of the green box, maybe a potential break. Someone's going to say, Ron, that's a big stop loss. I understand. I know. Yeah, when we're talking numbers, it's a big stop loss. But I'm just targeting structure above that POC. That's it, right? I've already calculated my risk. I know if I get stopped out, it's not the end of the world. But let's follow this volume now. If we can get it to close below the yellow line, maybe we can flip this and really get it coming down. We got good hourly pressure pushing down. Wow, beautiful hourly pressure pushing down. If we can get, I know it's 17 minutes away. We've got a long time for the hourly candle to close, but we got a 15-minute candle closing now in 2 minutes. So let's see if we can get 15-minute volume closing below that yellow line. We got breaking news right now. ECB's lane. The market believes we will do what is needed. Gulf and European officials see us needing 6 months for an Iran deal. Wow. Okay, Trump's been always saying 2 weeks. Okay, so I've got to continue following this. Emmanuel, you got 65 pips. Beautiful, beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that. Emmanuel, you know, like when you're in a slump, sometimes those nice moves, 65 here, another 40 there, another 50 there, they add up. Build your confidence. Continue to put money in that account and build it back up. And your confidence, number one, you're building that confidence. That's good. I normally it should be going to lowering my risk in this, but I'm trading a little different with you guys on these YouTube sessions. But that's right there, 50 pips. If you want to pip and dip out of that, it's fine with no drawdown. But see, that's why I'm holding. That's why I sometimes I take L's. I should be reducing my stop to like break even right now, but I don't want to do it. Let's watch this thing. I really want to educate on these sessions too. Understand why I placed the stop loss there. God, oh man, if we get black volume closing below that yellow line. Okay, 30 seconds going close. Pay attention to the last 30 seconds. It's very important. I've been saying this for the last 6 years. Every single candle in the last 30 seconds, how important it is for momentum to go into the next bar. And where do we have 5-minute bodies? Right here. 4787, right there. So they're going to do everything. Look at it, it's 50% of that green zone. It's unbelievable how psychological this is. Okay, so we did get a little close below there. So this red zone is still intact. This bearish point of POC is still intact. So if we come back up blue, 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 maybe we find some 50% of that candle. We need one structural black bar to close below all of this, and then we can cut it in half. If we get a structural bar closing below this, we could get another big black drop coming through here. So we've retested it. See how it retests the yellow line? Now filling. So we got to fill that wick, continue to do our job, and start to fill this and start breaking down. But this is not easy. I want to make this clear to everyone. It is not easy to break this physical demand zone. It's not, especially at the lowest point of the day and where it could create a double bottom. This is not easy. Here, coming back down, this is where it could pump right back up. Okay, so but we got higher time frame volume with coming down with us. Okay, 30 minutes pushing, hourly is really pushing. Let's see the daily bar. I didn't even take a peek at the daily bar. Let me just see the daily. Okay, so let's just, okay, so our daily bar has already came up blue, blue, blue to the, and pushing down. So we got a bearish pin bar on the daily. If we can break this, the daily candle could trade down into here, up to a point to the yellow line at 47.40. Then it could trade in here, whereas blue, black, blue, we could now start coming down black in here. Oh shit, I didn't want to get rid of that. What's going on here? Sorry guys, my short position just went away here. I want to get rid of this arrow. Okay guys, what is going on? Are you guys managing your trade? You can now physically manage it. We're pushing to break that wick. Roughly will be about 70 pips down there. Okay, good push. If you want to reduce your risk, you can. Okay. Like if you want to reduce risk from up there to this red box, do it, right? While you're in profit. Stop loss to break even already. I'm going to move my stop loss down to here, above this red zone. So you see, I just decreased my stop loss in profit by 60 pips. Good. Why give additional risk to the market when we're in the money now? So it's running 70. Let's follow this. 90 seconds going to the close. Man, if we can close below the green zone, I'm going to turn this big green zone into a red zone. Yes, it will come up with dip buyers, but we could reject them and push it down. Okay. A lot of you guys are break even right now. Perfect. Good. I love that, guys. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We have no capital at risk. That's good. Now we just got to manage our profit. Shit, this is an important area. Wick, and volume pushing down. Oh, man. If we get the melt, let's go. Let's get it down to at least 47.80. 47.80 would be money down there. Okay, 80 pips now. Okay, so that nasty wick at 4785, right there at the bottom of the green zone. Okay, so it's coming back up. We have a hanging man candle. We still have that black head with 10 seconds to go into the close. So following that wick, the next candle could be blue coming back up. Okay, we're still holding. The dip buyers are buying. They've been here all day dip buying. Okay, so it came up. Now I expect to see a bullish ignited candle following that wick. I don't. I see a bearish ignited candle. That's good. But see how it didn't last just for 5 seconds? Now it's coming back up blue. So if we can flag in here and hold this down, maybe we can have continuation. But now it's the dip buyers are coming in. This is where they started, right over here. It's the same exact location right there that started that big move up. So we're right back into it. And this is like that double bottom. That could be that big leg coming back up. See, some of you guys are in buys. You guys are pumping it up. See, that's the beauty of trading. Someone's in a sell, someone's in a buy. Someone's winning money, someone's losing money. That's how trading works. You have to expect pullbacks, okay? Like there's going to be dip buyers. Even when you're selling, there's going to, like if you're buying, there's going to be sellers. There's always those situations. It sucks. It sucks watching your profits disappear. But that's why I'm trying to teach you guys there's nothing wrong with pipping and dipping. See, I just basically pissed away 80 pips of profit. For what? For what? For what? Why? Why did I do that? What's the psychology? Why do we do that as traders? Someone, you guys educate me now. Why? Why? What was the point of that? Was it the greed that took over in me? You guys know I'm not a greedy person. You guys know I'm very disciplined. But why? Why did I not close out 80% down there? Why? What is it? What is it that causes traders to do this? What? Tell me, guys, break it down. Has this happened to you? You see it's happening to me right now. I'm just watching 80 pips of profit just disappear. And now I could potentially go into drawdown, right? Why? What is it? Greed? Is it greed, Christoph? But I'm not a greedy person. I'm not. If you guys know me, I'm not a greedy person. But what is it? I'm not sticking to my strategy. That's exactly who said it right there. I just saw it. Solo Ortiz, my man, you said it. I'm not following my strategy. I'm not sticking to my rules. See, trading is based off of rules. If you follow your rules, you will make money. If you say on this trade, I'm not going to follow my rules. Tomorrow, I'm going to follow my rules. This day, I'm going to bend the rules. There's too much inconsistency. There's too much inconsistency. I don't trade like that. I'm trying to prove a point here on YouTube to everyone. I used to trade like that. And in days like I was talking with Samuel Emmanuel, it goes, some days you're up, some days you're down, but no consistency. I started to learn, get my money, get out. Started to learn, oh my God, first time ever I'm watching my account grow. And then to a plan. So that's why I don't have goals like some traders that want 300 pip profit or 500. 80 to 100 is more than enough for a scalper, right? Some of us trade for 30 pips. Okay, we just have that bigger volume these days where a move like this back in the day would be 30 pips of gold, and I would be content and happy with that. But now I'm not happy with 80 pips, right? So you got to learn. This is the psychology that haunts you in trading every single day. Now I can still see I'm holding it. The wick was at my entry. It could come back down and break, but I could get rewarded by breaking my rules. That's not necessarily a good thing, because then tomorrow I might bend my rules again. So, you gotta have rules based on your trading. Like, I was trading right into this. We broke the daily yellow line. We're coming into this demand zone. I can see that there's a 5-minute wick, 5-minute wick, 5-minute wick, 5-minute wick, 5-minute wick. We broke. So it wouldn't have been an issue if I closed out 80% down there and kept 20% running. In this situation, I have my whole trade running. So will it continue to break down and get my reward, or is it going to come back up? So we got a rejection. It's there. That red zone is still intact. Okay, we got a rejection. Now we got to see if the sellers can continue to offer to push this down. But this is where it could build a bottom in here, another bottom, right? It came down, back up. It could come back down, build another bottom, and then to fill that wick, and then I'm getting stopped out, right? You can naturally see it developing. Unless these sellers step in now and really start to push this thing down. But long story short, please have rules when you're trading and follow them. Learn to not bend them, learn to not change them, follow them. You will become that much better of a trader if you just follow your rules. And don't worry about what would have happened or should have happened or could have happened. Again, the woulda, shoulda, couldas of trading. I don't give a shit what would have happened or what could have happened if I'm closing out 80 pips of profit, right? Who cares what could have happened? There's another trade, another setup waiting, okay? Take your money and get out. I'm trying to make this very clear to everyone on YouTube and Zoom. Okay, I'm here to educate on entries and things like that. I hope you understood my entry. I went in on this candle coming down and it yielded 80 pips. Now I didn't follow my plan. I want more. And then now the market could be coming to punish me. But remember, my original stop loss was above here. I lowered it to this block. So I lowered my risk by 60 pips. So I cannot lose more. Emmanuel, this is the word of the week, consistency. That is why I took my profit and go back to silence. See, you did it. We should have learned from you. And we had this conversation. But that's what we need to get out of a slump. That's what we need. Again, get those pips, get out, dip, analyze. Learn from why you were losing, how you took those losses. Learn from a winning trade, put it back together, and come back stronger. Trading is not hoping and praying. Trading is very technical skill, that you got to do on a daily basis, but stay disciplined. As you get more experience in the markets, you will come to me later and say, Unc, I understand what you were talking about. Now I get it. Now I get it. Now what you were saying makes sense to me. Before it didn't make sense because I'm new to trading, but now it makes sense. I'm telling you guys, if you want to last years in this business, you gotta be able to take some profit. Stop getting greedy. Stop getting greedy. And we're going into 1 p.m. now in 90 seconds. Watch how momentum now plays out here. Watch how things can change. And then you can see how we're bouncing around today. In here, support. There's the resistance coming back down, building some support. It's the same setup from 5 minutes on 15th of April. Pattern recognition. Exactly. That's how you learn trading. Recognize patterns. And is it the same setup that you see? Is there something you could have learned from it on April 15th? And you see the same thing. I see patterns repeat over and over and over. That's how I knew how to sell that right there, where it came down, the inside bar. That one, as it was pushing down, I sold. I sold on impulse too, and it ran 80 pips. Why? Because I recognize that pattern. And get ready for some volatility at 1 p.m. We got to take a look at that 1 p.m. 1 hour candle close as well. So it opened bullish ignited briefly for the first 5 seconds, still holding. So sellers got to reject this quickly. Otherwise, that bullish ignited candle, it's an hourly, could continue building, and then start traveling right through here. When we look on the hourly, okay, so that bearish candle came down, didn't get the close below that yellow line. If we close below that yellow line, I would have a different conversation with you right now. Okay, now it's open bullish ignited. So it's got a lot of room to continue come back up and trade into 50% of this candle, which is right over here, the point of control. I'll verbally let you guys know as soon as I get stopped out of this. And then after that, I'm done on this call. Rules, lessons for today is follow your rules. That's the lesson of the day. Follow your rules. All day, every day, all sessions, all securities. Follow your rules. Then you'll become a routine trader instead of a guessing trader every single day. Okay, so we got a rejection where at the red line, 50%, we got a shooting star candle coming down. Can we penetrate down through here again? Are we going to get that hourly candle now pushing down? We got the retest. Now can we continue with hourly volume, filling the hourly wick and dropping even further? I like that. Samuel wrote, not your rules, not your control, not your money, and then crossed out the word not. And then I'm reading your rules, your control, your money. That's nice. I like that. And then looking at NASDAQ. Okay, so NASDAQ, we got now that bearish light coming down, but it could come really into some some buyers pending in here and then take it back up. Okay, so now we're working the yellow daily point of interest. If we can get black volume, continue to push down, we can make that yellow line momentarily resistance to continue to push down. If the volume stays above the yellow line, it could be support momentarily to continue to push up. So we got 2 more minutes to go in this candle. It opened, remember what the open? Bullish ignited, held, came up bullish ignited all the way up to here, got rejected. We came down like a nice bearish shooting star right down to that daily point of interest. And then it's coming right back up as right now a spin top mixed 50-50 candle with 90 seconds to go. And also recognize that we have not tapped into 4,800, that structural candle. So whether it's on this call or after the call, keep an eye on that and see what happens. Do you see how this point of control, this bullish candle, is playing out? Okay, where it was bullish, but that bar closed below it, so I turned it red, came up, closed in it. I was very technical on that 1235 candle. Why I told you I didn't change it green. And then when it was coming down, that's when I sold. Guys, if you listen to how I'm saying it play by play, you'll know exactly what I'm like, what is going through my head. That's why I told you I'm very technical. I did not close it, make it green, because it closed inside. Then when it came up, when it was coming down, that's when I sold, because it did not close above. It was still within the red zone. And that's how you can capture 80 pips. Now it came back up, came back into that. Again, sellers are there offering, pushing it right back down. We're still below the red zone. We've got lower high wicks. We've got a wick. Now all we got to do is get redistribution volume back coming down, filling this wick and driving back down. But buyers are here. They're strong. They're buying, but we got to continue to rely on our zones. That's why my stop loss is just above it. And we got to now continue to squeeze down and maybe cause some buyers to think about their positions. And if we can get black volume closing below the yellow line, then we can really start to flip the momentum. But right now it's still holding above, so it's support right now still. And I like that you guys are learning in a very, very choppy, like not the greatest trading environment we've had today. This entire week hasn't been good, to tell you the truth. It's been very, very difficult sessions post New York, across the board for gold. So I hope you guys are learning a little bit. Each session trades different. Someone messaged me last night and said, "Ron, I traded London and London was phenomenal." Sometimes Tokyo is good. Sometimes this post New York is good, but just manage your risk every single day. That's all we can do. Okay, so you still see how it's holding support, higher low, higher low, higher low. Now it's coming right back up. So buyers are trying to continue to fill their wick and drive higher. Maybe if I get off the call, if we end the call, we'll get that drop. Anytime we end the call, there's always a big move. Maybe if we end the call, it's either a big blue candle driving through here or a big black candle coming down. It's like always right when we end the call. But if you learned something today, if you had some fun, hit the likes, subscribe to the channel. Join us again tomorrow for a Friday session. Friday, the markets could be absolutely crazy tomorrow to end the week. Yeah, rule number 2: go in a buy or sell when we end the call. Guys, I will verbally let you guys know when I get stopped out. I don't have much risk in the trade, okay? This is not much risk. This is roughly 35, 40 pips risk, which is nothing, okay? So if I get stopped out, I hope this is more of a learning that when I was up 80, I just watched some pancakes just disappear. So Ron's got to go back to eating Kraft dinner. Got to open up that box of Kraft dinner today. But guys, I do come on YouTube to help educate, okay? Learn from my mistake there. Well, again, why didn't Ron close out 80% right at the bottom of the green box? Like, it doesn't get any more technical than that, okay? I should be more of a technical trader on these sessions, but, you know, I try my best. I know everyone wants bigger rewards. I know how YouTube is. A lot of people think 80 pips is nothing. And then I see other streamers streaming for 8 pips and they're jumping up and down. So I've got to learn as a streamer too to get better at this YouTube shit. But I'll make it back up. I'm sure I'll find 40 pips in the markets this afternoon. $80 pips is very good. 80 pips is phenomenal. That's what I'm trying to say to you guys. But sometimes when I close out 80 pips, everyone's saying, oh, Ron, why did you close? Why did you do that? This and that. So I'm trying for the life of me to hold these trades. But I'm not. But you see what I'm doing while I'm holding is I'm reducing my risk. Okay? Because that I'm not playing games with. My stop loss was originally up there, but I decreased it by 60. So instead of losing 100 pips, I can only lose 40. I'm okay with that. But everyone will see it now as an L. Oh, he took an L. Oh, he's a shitty trader. He took an L. I don't care about A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, K, L. I don't care about W's and L's. I don't care. Like I'm that guy that doesn't care. You don't see me with like a scoreboard up here. How many W's or L's or this? I don't give a shit about that. I could come on here for the rest of the year and take all L's with you guys as long as you guys are learning. That's my job. Okay, that's the difference between me and someone else. Okay, I make my money trading other times in the day. So I'm here to educate. I want you guys to learn from my mistakes. That's what I want you guys to get out of this. You can go on YouTube right after this. There's going to be 1,000 live traders trading gold. You know, you can go make money with them. But if you want to learn valuable trading lessons, we'll teach you those. Nobody taught me these lessons. I taught myself these. But I'm trying to get it through to you guys to understand 80 pips is a good trade. 80 pips coming down to the bottom of a green box is a good trade. Looking for more when you can see the structure is holding there and we came right into it and I wanted more and more and more. I wanted a daily break. I wanted a 1,000 pip drop. It's wishful thinking. Okay, it's wishful thinking. You need something big in the market to news drop or something for that to happen. This was perfect. And look now, the double bottom is playing out. Okay, so this is where it could break out. And that's why I don't want to be in this trade any longer, because if it breaks out, why give the market that much additional pips to drive to that POC? What is the point? Like right there. Well, why give it an additional 50 pips? For what? I know if it breaks through here, it'll close above this and fill up to there. I could buy that for 50 pips and make up my loss. So now I'm just waiting to get stopped out to end this call. Unless someone on YouTube can drop 1,000 lots of gold on a sell and just drop this. Someone's going to do it on YouTube. Is there anyone on YouTube that wants to sacrifice your account and go 1,000 leverage, largest lot size you can do, and hit a sell? You'll help me. Anyone want to do it? Anyone want to volunteer their accounts? I'm joking. Don't do it. Don't do it. We'll get Dave to do it. We'll call Dave. Let me text Dave. I'll be like, Dave, put some sell orders in. We'll call Dave, Forex Borex, Serge, Bernard, Tyler, Krina, everyone. How about all of SST hits a sell at the same time and see what happens? We should do that. Just see what happens and analyze it. Maybe we can move these markets. When we do penny stocks, pump and dumps, I'll show you those. Those we can move. we can literally move penny stocks. I've moved them myself. Yeah, if this dumps, everyone who said buy has to do 250 push-ups. Okay, so we're still holding the red zone. Okay, but we're not closing with black volume below that yellow line. That's the only thing that's still holding the buyers right now. If we get a black candle closing below here, I'm going to have a different conversation with you. But right now, it's still, buyers are still holding, okay? But our zone of control, okay, is holding up. It's a different zone, but it's similar to this. It's a structural bar from this one that's flipped. We've inverted it, lower highs. Now we're pushing down. So I know someone, yeah, Dave is here. So Dave is selling the market. So Dave, bid down around 47.85 so I can get out of this trade and go eat because I'm starving. We'll get everyone. We'll get Dave to put a bid in at 47.84. Then I can clear my trade and get out. But if you want to hold trades longer, you want more, you got to go through these pullbacks. You got to go through this. I hate going through this shit. That's why I like scalping the market. You get a move in and out. If you buy, like let's say some of you guys bought, you bought in and out. If you sold, in and out. Like right there. Just on this leg, that leg, that leg, you can make your daily goal and you're done. Instead of staring at shit for 3 hours and wasting your entire day. That's why I love scalping. It makes my life easier. It makes my decisions easier. I don't have crazy goals of I need 300 or 500 pips on a trade. I just need 50 and I'm good. 3-4 of those a day, 150, 200 pips. That's it. And I can do that all. Because when I say this, some of you guys are not going to believe me. Sometimes when I trade New York, less than 1 hour, 30 minutes, I've hit my daily goal and I'm out. Some of you guys are going to say, Ron, you're full of shit. Because we see you on stream for 3, 4, 5 hours. Something. Because I'm sitting here with you guys having a conversation, helping you guys learn how to trade and things like that. But just on a couple candles, if I'm trading, like I want to put one time a camera behind me when I'm just trading by myself and show you just boom, 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 and show you the results. This is mentally draining. I think my hair is falling out and I'm growing gray hair just watching this trade. It's a lot to handle, guys. That's why trading is the most difficult job to do on this planet. It's easy to flip a hamburger at McDonald's. Very easy. To do this shit every day is very, very difficult. For anyone that says, and I stand by this, anyone that says trading is easy is full of shit. Trading is the most difficult thing you'll ever do in your life. No job puts you through this mental strain, financial struggles, losses, dealing with your psychology on a daily basis. This is very difficult. That's why you have to learn discipline in this game. Otherwise, you won't be profitable. I hate saying this to people live because I want to inspire you guys to be profitable. But I'm saying if you guys don't have a plan, you have no idea what you're doing, you're not going to be profitable. You're going to be another statistics. 90 to 95% of traders fail. That's the truth. 9 out of 10 traders. I hate to say this, but there's 400 traders on YouTube. 300 of you guys are going to fail at trading. It's just, like looking at probabilities. So, but we can change that. You can be the successful one if you just learn some discipline with your risk management, learn some discipline with how you manipulate your stop loss, learn some discipline with how you take out profit when you're in a profitable trade, and keep learning from your mistakes. I make mistakes on a daily basis. I'm sure you guys make mistakes too, but I learn from my mistakes. I hope that you guys learn as well. Journal. Rob, you don't agree with this? A swing trader, it's even easier. Check the charts, quickly manage existing set 1 to 2. Yeah, well, I'm not talking about swing trading here. I'm talking about intraday scalping. Swing trading, oh my God, if I show you swing trading on options, buy an out of the money Apple call and hold it. You're going to guaranteed to make money. Swing trading options is guaranteed money. Scalping gold with a prop firm or a broker is difficult because you got so much variables, commissions, slippage, spreads, bullshit, all of that. But yeah, if you want to learn all of this, then be a swing trader. I'm not saying not to. Just focus on higher time frames. Stop focusing on 5 minutes, 3 minutes, and 15 minutes. Yeah, you swing trade with your deposit in your bank. Most traders do that. You can't swing trade too much with Forex. So you got to swing trade your bank account. That's why, guys, join our stock and options bootcamp. I promise you, you're going to learn a whole new financial market. And you might say, what the hell? Why was I even trading Forex when there's stock and options? Like, where can you make this type of return? Look at this option, the Netflix one. Okay, it's expiring this Friday. I got a call of 112. It's not at 112. It's trading at 107, 108, and I'm up 40%. You don't even have to hit your target. That's option trading. Like, see, I bought at $1.53 the contract. You have to multiply by 100 shares, $150. Look at what the bid and what it's trading at, $2.12. That's 40%. Just from a small investment of $760. See how I took now I compounded it to 1,000. I could take this 1,000 and look for some call options next week. Maybe get this 1,500, 2,000. It's the quickest way of compounding is trading through options. Everyone thinks you have to have $100,000, $1 million to trade options. No, you don't. Here's an example. I bought five of these, right? I bought 5. I could have bought one. One would have been $150. 150 times 5, there's your 750. 40. This is up 60% right now. When it was up over here, I was looking at this, it was up to 225. That would have been 60%. You can literally hit 100%, double your money with options. It's unbelievable. Okay, and then when you learn about theta, you learn about time decay. You learn about gamma. We'll learn all about those things. Kyle, this was 2 trades done today and yesterday using the AI Trade Ideas platform recommended in Discord. Amazing. So you got 2 win rate, 100%, 2, and weekly pips 390. Holy shit. That's amazing, Kyle. Amazing. Wow. Okay, guys, that's it for me on this call. I can't do this anymore. It's like watching paint dry. So you guys know my stop loss is up here. If it comes back down here, you know I'm in the money. Okay, but that's it for today. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day today. Like and subscribe. Join us again tomorrow. 8 more subs. Let's hit 96,500. Brings us good positive energy for tomorrow's session. We'll have some good analysis tomorrow. We'll see how Friday's work and moving. If you're going to trade the rest of the day, just be careful. Trump is speaking. He has a speaking at 7 p.m. tonight. And also, if you're watching NASDAQ, Netflix has their earnings in the after hours. Yeah, check them out, guys. The link is AITradeIdeas.com. Check it out. Check out that website and see how to buy Netflix. Mohammed, open up a brokerage account. You can buy shares. Each share costs $108 if you buy a share, or you can do those options, what I just showed you. You can buy contracts. Okay, guys? But join the bootcamp and you'll get everything explained to you guys. Okay, guys? Have a great day. Make sure join our free Telegram channel because you're going to get everything here. Guys, there's only today and tomorrow, basically Saturday, to sign up for the bootcamp for a 3-month premium plan and a one-on-one, and all of the indicators, trade signals, ideas, education, all for $250. That price will never exist ever again. That's at the lowest price possible. That's how much we charge for one-on-ones, basically. But you get all of that, okay? So have a great day, guys. Enjoy your day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless everyone. Thank you, guys. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Have a great day, everyone on Zoom. Justin, take care, brother. Rob, have a good day. Christoph, see you guys. Samuel, have a great day. Thank you, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. That's enough watching this price action. That's good, good enough for today. Time to go to the gym and do some push-ups. Have a good day, guys.
Recording stopped.